Yes, 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 indeed. Good morning, my friend. It is Tuesday. It is May the 15th, and welcome to hour number 21, lucky number 21, Blackjack, hour number 21 of the 24 hours of action. So for 21 consecutive days now, I have recorded a podcast episode. I've written a blog post, and I have shot a YouTube video, all within the 1 hour between 4:45 a.m. and 5:45 a.m. Pacific time. We, my friends, are getting close to the end of the 24 hours of action. And the only episode within the 24 hours of action that I am truly planning ahead for over these 24 days is that hour 24, which happens this Friday, May the 18th. By planning ahead, I just mean that I'm keeping a running list of all the lessons that I've learned over the course of this journey, the things that went well, the things that went not so well, and the things that went horribly wrong. And I'm going to be spilling it all. I'm going to be sharing all those lessons, the good, the bad, and the ugly on the final hour of action. And that happens again this Friday, May the 18th. You're not going to want to miss it. You've come with me this far, guys. Let's see this thing through to the end. If you have listened to my other podcast, Dramatic Travels, you know that I traveled the world with my grandmother when I was a teenager. And those trips changed my mindset, and they changed my life forever. And it was those trips with my grandmother that inspired a lifetime of travel in me. And it really shaped the person who I am today. I would not be who I am or where I am without my grandmother and the generosity that she showed me when she took me on those trips, which is going on 30 years ago now. Knowing the impact that travel had on me as a kid, I want to pass on that same inspiration to my kids. And through my podcast, Dramatic Travels, I'm paying forward my grandmother's kindness one step further by not just being an advocate for my own kids, but being an advocate for youth travel in general and giving parents everywhere the encouragement and the support to travel with their kids. And this goes for non-parents as well, people who for whom parenthood is in their future. Just knowing the idea that traveling with their kids is such a wonderful thing and can have such wonderful, lasting, positive impacts on their children. My tagline, or part of my description of the Dramatic Travels podcast, is that I chat with some of the world's most passionate and influential travelers who share inspirational moments from their childhoods, as well as insights gained from traveling with their own kids. And there's a word in there that I want to focus on today, and that word is influential. Passionate and influential travelers. Because influence is a word that gets thrown around a lot these days. Social media influencer, Instagram influencer, travel influencer. It's such a trendy word and a trendy way to describe people that I actually hesitated to use the word influential in the official description of my podcast. I left it in there, but only after I clearly established what being an influencer means to me. It has nothing to do with being a Kardashian. I've got nothing against the Kardashians, and I certainly don't begrudge them a living, but we need another word for people like them besides influencer. To me, it tarnishes that word a bit, but that's just my opinion. To me, the concept of influence in general is fascinating. We are all influenced every single day, whether we realize it or not, because we're influenced in ways other than just the typical ways that we might think. And to use the Kardashians as an example once again, you might say that you can't stand the Kardashians. I can't stand the Kardashians. I would never buy anything that they endorse. They have no influence over me. Well, by saying that, you're admitting that they do, in fact, have influence over you. It's just that instead of intentionally taking some action that they want you to take, buying some product that they endorse, you're consciously not taking that action. You're not buying that product. you have been influenced. And that's, to me, that concept is fascinating about how, we're all influenced every day by the people around us, by the people we listen to, the people we see on TV, listen to in podcasts, etc. For the purposes of my podcast, Dramatic Travels, and describing an influential traveler, I define an influencer as somebody who has the ability for inspiring change. And in this case, hopefully positive change. It's not about how many followers you have or how many products you endorse or sell. These are byproducts. These are byproducts of genuine influence. But it's not the influence itself. On Dramatic Travels, I sincerely hope that my listeners find my personal story inspiring and that I can personally empower parents to travel more with their kids. But the reality is that that's not going to be the case for everyone. My personal story might not move anyone to take action, and that's just the way it is. Not everyone relates to everyone's story. So that is why I seek out a diverse group of guests for my podcast with different personalities and often very different stories, and people who have made their own positive change on the travel landscape, and in most cases, a positive change that far and away exceeds the impact that I've made in just this short time. But what my hope is that perhaps you, my audience, may be inspired by their story, because all it takes is a spark, just a little spark, my friend. One little story, one little golden nugget of advice from a person you feel a strong connection with, whether that person is me or one of my guests. All it takes is a spark to change your life forever. And you never know when or where that spark might ignite. And you never know who might ultimately be responsible for igniting it. So, my friend, that is what influence means to me. The fire starters of the world. Who influences you? Who causes you to take action? Who inspires you not to take action? Those are the sorts of things we can all be thinking about today. All right, my friend, that's going to do it. There is your daily dose of insight and fun from my overactive mind, from my overactive imagination. That's going to do it, my friend. Hour 21 is in the books. Head to 24 Hours of Action. Get on the email list. I've got a bunch of behind-the-scenes bonuses that are already ready. They're live on the member page. It's totally free. And I hope you'll come over and join us. All right, my friend, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you on Wednesday. That's going to be hour number 22, my friend. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're almost done. We'll see you tomorrow. Aaron Schlein signing off. Bye.